with Jeff and Russ from Terra Virtua here at the Collectors Hub show. Gonna just dive right in because this is an amazing project, and I want to hear more about it. I do have a couple things that I've snagged from Terra Virtua, and I'm really hyped to have the guys just dive in deep on it. And maybe just for everybody that's here, if they haven't caught you in podcasts or shows before, a little introduction, just maybe how you got into collecting, and then we'll go a little deeper into how you got into crypto and NFTs. But I always like to get a little background on how people that are in the space first develop their passions for art or collectibles. Some people started in childhood, other people had an experience later in their early adult life that really turned them on to art or collectibles or something. So I guess maybe Jeff, if you want to just take first shot and give us a little introduction on yourself and a little background about how you got interested in this stuff.
Yeah, you got it. First off, I just want to appreciate you guys for having us on tonight. We love doing stuff like this. We're definitely going to have a good time once we get all the serious stuff out of the way. But for those that don't know me, my name is Jeff Holmberg, and I am Chief Strategy Officer here at Terra. I actually, and it's funny, we went through this today on AMA earlier. I am a Wall Street veteran. I started my career at Merrill Lynch, moved over to Goldman Sachs. Absolutely hated it. Hated finance. I hated trading, options trading, derivatives. I did all of that on a desk. Just wasn't for me. And so it's funny, while I was working at a firm in Stamford, Connecticut, in the United States, we actually had an intern who started telling me about Bitcoin in early of 2015, and that's how I discovered it. I had purchased my first Bitcoin then. And of course, once I purchased my first Bitcoin, I fell down that rabbit hole, started exploring the whole space. Eventually, it led to, learning about Ethereum down the line, learning about, CryptoPunks eventually. And then, when I really, really decided that I wanted to get into this space, I did some very minor projects for some teams that either were bought out or did not succeed, and eventually moved my career to lead partnerships at OpenSea. After OpenSea, I am now here, obviously. So that's my backstory. Russ, you want to tell them?
More about you? Or me?
I mean, you could.
Yeah, I mean, tell them. Verify that this is all true.
Oh, no, what happened to my loop? Oh, I got a loop. Hold on.
Cool.
I got to set my...
He talks himself up to be, like, he actually meets that. So I've been around him long enough to kind of see that through. So he's not just blowing steam. He definitely has a lot of skills that he brings to the table, along with the rest of the team. I always am pretty shocked that I'm now a part of this team, which is, again, I've said in the podcast, super humbling just to be here. Because this is in the crossover of like my passion and what I really like to do. So it's like I get to actually get paid for a hobby, which is I feel like that's the dream, right? So yeah, being here is incredible. With the DApp scene and how I got involved and what I've done. I don't know if everyone knows, or they may be in the Blockstack server, but I did 15 months with them as the growth advisor, and here the growth associate, or is that the term that we settle on, Jeff?
Russ is a Swiss Army knife for everything we need, from marketing, growth, partnerships, community. Everything that we do. I think right now our team is intimate enough where everyone's kind of wearing different hats and stuff. For sure. Yeah. So technically you're a growth guy overall.
I'm like the personification of all of the community to the founders. So they hit me up, say, "Oh, what's everyone's saying?" Like any gripes, complaints, and just everything. Actually, you can rest assured, gets actually translated to them, and they actually are extremely receptive. Which was one of the things that I picked up on quick being here, was how receptive they were to the community, which is what made it really special to me, because I know your OGs really know what's best for the product. So anyway, you'll get to kind of see that roll out as we go along. But yeah, as far as the DApp space and how I got involved, I actually tried to quit the Ethereum world or the DApp world 3 separate times, but somehow I always got pulled back in. I would have a big project that offered me whatever and it was almost like I was meant to be here. So like starting with like Crypto Space Commanders really like caught my eye in the beginning, which Crypto Kitties and among other things. But like being able to own a piece of a video game was like just a game changer for me, no pun intended. But and so from there, and just knowing what was on the horizon, it really was like I couldn't unlearn what I learned. You know, like anyone that's been in the space for any amount of time, especially when they understand the tech, it's like you can't go back to like not knowing ever again. It's on par with like a mild drug, if you will. So uh, anyway, I'm dedicated to the DAP space, and now being here, you know, it's like I'm peaking. Like I look,
That's
mom, I'm
awesome.
peaking. Yeah. So anyway,
Love
that's
it.
kind of like a roundabout way about explaining me.
That's so cool. I think in this space is one of those kind of, and in this time in this space, it's one of those special eras where a lot of us are getting to actually follow our passions. And when you're able to work doing something you're passionate about, you can, you know, there's so much benefit to that that comes across in the product, that
Mm-hmm.
comes across in your own life. So that's just great to hear. And I love what's going on at Terra Virtua. It's funny because CSC was one, Crypto Space Commando was kind of one of the earlier games that I got into too. And it just makes so much sense growing up, you know, playing Nintendo and Sega and whatnot. Like you spend all these hours and maybe some games you're able to get special things, but after the game is done or you've beat it or whatever, you just move on and that's that. So
Hard.
thinking about, you know, for the next generation, like my kid likes video games. I want him to be able to build up a vault from the time he spends
Yeah.
playing games of valuable assets that he could trade or sell or
Yeah.
gift or bring into other games. So it's a really
Oh yeah.
exciting time. NFTs are.
Imagine like you're playing an MMO and your character was passed down to you from your like great grandfather, and you just keep going with the grind, you know, like getting some like elite gear and stuff like that, and the game never ends. Like the
So
blockchain
badass.
technology, like yeah, but like it's, you know, like it's the same reason why Vitalik got started was because they nerfed his favorite World of Warcraft spell, his warlock, I think, and he said he cried himself to sleep that night, and he wrote this all on his
Yeah,
little
that's a true
blog
story.
thing.
Hmm.
And honestly, I think that's why I'm so bullish on ETH, because like this dude is like he's real. Like nobody would write something that candid if they didn't really mean it. But like he basically didn't want one entity to be able to have that much power to cancel, in his case, a spell that he really enjoyed on his warlock. But I mean, I'm right there with him, honestly. Like I don't like it. Like I think the same thing happened to me with Destiny, the first Destiny. I put 600 hours in, 600 anyway, but I maxed out all my gear, and then it was just kind of like that was over, and almost like that time got taken from me. Not that I didn't enjoy it or anything, but knowing now that you can play to earn and collect to earn, and basically like I made money on Crypto Space Commanders, like a lot of money, just because, you know, I did a little due diligence and whatever. It wasn't really like, you know, like nothing crazy. But the fact that everybody can get in on this and it's still so early, it's like what makes it seriously exciting.
And that's a great point that a lot of people that are newer to the space that come in and they often mention, oh, well, I'm way too late. Like all this stuff has happened. No, no, no. It's still very early days. I always iterate that we're still just like witnessing the foundation being laid for things that I don't even know if we can imagine what will be going on in, you know, a couple years out from now. So it's not too late to start, you know, for people that are just kind of getting their bearings on the, you know, whether it's the gaming space or, you know, DeFi, which is a bit fresher and newer, and, you know, collectibles, art. There's still plenty of time to get in, whether you're an artist making NFTs or you're a collector or a gamer. Hop into some of these communities, ask questions. I'll drop another link to the Terra Virtua Discord here in a sec. But with that kind of groundwork from you guys, let's dive in a little to Terra Virtua. So one thing that I've noticed that stands out, I mean, a lot among a lot of things, is the quality of the artwork of these 3D NFT pieces. So can you talk a little about, like, I know you guys are doing a lot in licensing from these, kind of big names in the entertainment space. But who's actually doing the art for these?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So when we if we want to talk about Paramount Pictures and Legendary Films, what they will do is, they will give us a um, more of like a licensed pool of either images or sometimes animations. I believe it's just images. I don't want to speak too much on the specifics, but they will provide some material for us to work with, and then our development team works with creating animations on those or changing or altering the images ever so slightly, in which we'd have to go back to, say, Paramount or Legendary and get approval and say this is the final product that we want to push out as the collectible. And they've been very lenient with what we want to do. Obviously, we didn't change any images drastically or any type of animations that we added to it were more so subtle animations, not huge animations that would change the product itself or really alter the licensed figurine, so to speak. So you have to give kudos to our dev team and those guys out there for sure.
That's really cool. They're giving you, some of that kind of flexibility and range to be able to tweak stuff, and have been so open to what you guys have done. And literally everything that I've seen, when I go onto the Terra Virtua site, I'm like, ooh, I want that. I want that. So it's there's a lot of cool stuff in there. And up on the screen is some. I love this loop of inside. So is that the Terra Dome?
It is.
Yeah. So what you're looking at right now, we do have 3 places to view collectibles, and I think for those that don't know what the whole premise of what Terra Virtua is trying to do is, we're really trying to solve the problem of how to actually view your stuff and showcase your stuff. I think there's a lot of people in here that are familiar with OpenSea, Super Rare, Makers, etc. Lots of big marketplaces, and I think everyone's rushing to market with cool items, cool artwork, games, but no one's really thinking about what comes next, right? So OpenSea, if you don't, Dad Dragon, if you don't open, oh, okay, he's laughing. Basically, the problem is of what comes next. Well, if I buy all this, art, or if I buy a lot of these gaming items, even into the thousands of dollars or the 6-figure range, as we've seen some collectors do, a lot of us are looking at it on OpenSea or in Trust Wallet. It's more so looking at a thumbnail. I don't know about you guys or anyone, in the Discord now, but art is meant to be hung on a wall. A collectible is meant to be picked up and put on a shelf. It's not meant to be just you spend all this money just to get some JPEG thumbnail in your phone. That's just not how things should be. So we wanted to solve this problem where attention is the ultimate currency in 2020 and going into 2021. We can see this through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok metrics still growing at an exponential pace. So we thought, we want people to be able to get attention from either fans, collectors, friends, family, etc. So we built 3 ways to do this. The first is our fan cave, we call it, which has like a basement type feel, a collector's room type feel. It has a couch, a TV, a pinball machine in it, where you can put some art on the wall. You can put your figurines, or what we call V-Flex, on shelves. Other collectibles, of course, in there. We have podiums, as you can see. This is the fan cave you see on the video right now. And this is that collector's room, just vibe to it. And this is kind of the core of what we do, right? And in the future, we have teased that we are going to work on some customization options for that. I think some of us in here have been familiarized with what Crypto Voxels did and being able to just design your own type of building. The second thing we did was, well, if you had a plane, a tank, a crypto space commander ship, something along those lines, you're probably not going to realistically fit it in, a fan cave or a basement room type setting. So what we created, which will be coming up soon, and I'll point it out, is something called the Terra Dome. The Terra Dome is meant exactly this right here on the screen is spaceships, large animal figurines, tanks, very planes, cars, trucks, larger items that would make sense to have it give you that real life feel instead of having it just be a micro machine and, on a shelf in your bedroom, so to speak. So the cool thing about this is we are working on an even larger Terra Dome that's going to be coming out sometime into the future, because people have said, well, I have so many cars and ships, how can I make this bigger? So we are going to solve that and make it absolutely huge in the future. The third, which we've just released recently, about 3 weeks ago, maybe around 4 weeks ago, is our art gallery, which will be coming up shortly. Again, similar to the fan cave and the Terra Dome, we wanted to give it a realistic, real life feel to it, especially for art. Like I said, a comparison from a thumbnail to what you're about to see on the screen, walking through our art gallery with marble floors, proper lighting for the art. We wanted to make it as if you were viewing your own collections inside your own personal museum. And the thing that's attractive about this, especially to artists, is it now gives people more of a reason to share their artwork on social media, share their collections on social media, show off what they have, right? And as I think Easy might have mentioned before, or perhaps even in Twitter, we are looking to curate some artists on board right now. We are doing that on a one-on-one basis with me. I've been doing it through our Twitter account, but if you are interested, if you're an artist and want to get your stuff listed on the Terra Virtua platform, jump in our Discord. Tag me, tag Russ, go into our art channel in our Discord server, where you'll see a link for a wait list. But what you can see now is the art gallery. And as you can probably tell, it just has that real life art gallery feel, lighting, reflection to it. And this is the way we truly feel that art should be viewed. And artists have just been floored over this. They love it. Collectors love it. We've been asked the question, well, what happens if I have all sorts of stuff in the past that I bought for art? How do I get it into Terra Virtua? Definitely wanted to address that now, because I think it's a perfect time. Is when we opened up Terra Virtua, we started as a wall garden. All of our items are ERC 721 collectibles, which is pretty much standard for NFTs, outside of 1155, of course. But we have since obviously immediately changed that idea of being a wall garden platform. We are now migrating over to Matic to help out with some gas fees and some speed, essentially. And we are updating our blockchain contracts to allow full interoperability in early first quarter of 2021. So that means all of your ERC collectible, all your ERC 721 collectibles that you already have stashed up, that you already have purchased, if you're a big collector or a small collector, doesn't matter. When that contract is updated, you'll be able to put your other crypto space commander ships, perhaps, and your Terra or Gods Unchained cards on the wall. So this is what we really want: a place for people to just show off their stuff. On top of that, and forgive me for speaking so long, there's just so much to tell you guys. We are in the process of including what we call social profiles on the Terra Virtua platform itself. This would be a landing page with a picture that you can choose, a banner, very similar to like a Facebook page, except just not Facebook, right? It's meant to, you can write walls, you can send messages to people if you're interested in doing trades. We're going to have a section where you can allow other people to walk through your fan cave, Terra Dome, or art gallery if they just want to explore, right? We'll have options to upload video and pictures. One cool thing, I don't want to get too off topic, but we do have a mobile app that's available on Android devices right now. And that will give you AR, augmented reality functionality with your collectibles by using the app. So you'll probably see throughout the screen here, I think it might be coming up soon. You can create your figurines and make them gigantic, life size, make them taller than you, and take pictures and videos with it. Perhaps you want to open up an artwork and put it in your living room wall and take a picture and send it to your family and pretend like you just bought, a huge expensive piece of physical art when it's actually your NFT. So there's a lot of things that we expect to happen with AR, with that application. To those that are curious, we are working with Apple. They're just a pain in the butt to try and get things in line with. But if that does not work out with Apple, we do have a workaround that we are planning to do to at least get, mobile functionality for the app on iOS too. I think that should somewhat at least give the basic spiel of what we're doing. As you can see here, we do have our own marketplace with collectibles, but I think that the biggest um, reward, I guess, in this conversation that people were really looking forward to was the fact about interoperability. Our collectibles are super cool. There's no denying that. And I think people that have been buying Terra Virtua items will say the same thing, but however they want to bring their collections over that they've purchased through OpenSea or Makers, Super, etc. So we're super pumped to be working on that behind the scenes right now. What that would look like with other entities, like I mentioned, Crypto Space Commanders, that's yet to be seen. Obviously the contract will allow you to upload this stuff and put it inside your fan caves, but we focus on quality here. So we want to make sure that you're not just uploading fuzzy images or things like that. So there might be some tinkering that needs to be done when that time comes. But once that contract is open, we're expecting a very large boom of people to come in.
That is such amazing news. I mean, I am super, super excited right now. A lot of things you hit on have my brain just cranking. The fact that you guys are also bringing an artist to be able to display in the gallery, that gallery looks amazing. And one of the things that, a huge solution you guys are providing is exactly what you had touched on about you have this amazing art, right? You buy, maybe you're spending a pretty penny on something amazing from a well-known artist, but you just have like maybe on your mobile a little like tiny little view of it. There's been talk, and I know that I had been asking, for like a year and a half now, like when are we going to have some really good frames where we can display all these stuff? And I know Async is working on a physical frame. There's a couple other options. Like this is, and at Collectors Hub, we wanted to give a space where people can, have their art NFTs together, because as you were mentioning, like on OpenSea, it's just a mess trying to search and find stuff, and it's everything, which is great. You have gaming and collectibles and land, but so, at Collectors Hub, we wanted to kind of streamline for just art stuff where people can make a collection and share it. But this, being able to go into a virtual reality that is crisp and clean and have 3D versions that you can move around and pick up and walk around, and with the AR out, I mean, there's just so much. It must have been an incredible amount of work you guys have been doing behind the scenes to get this all going. Then you throw in the chat and being able to post videos up in your, hangout in your cave, and
We want
the
it to be
pit.
social, easy. Yeah,
It's
we want it to.
it's perfect.
It's cool. Yeah, thanks. And sorry to cut you off here, but one thing I wanted to add is this is free. If you wanted to sign up on Terra Virtua today, you can download a fan cave, your art gallery, your Terra Dome, and start collecting. We have a whole bunch of collectibles. We have licensed collectibles, like I mentioned, from Paramount, Legendary, Netflix, Lost in Space, Top Gun, Godfather. You even have some Sunset Boulevards on there if you're a fan of classic movies. It's been kind of out of the bag now, but we have Pacific Rim that is coming soon. I wish I could tell you the amount of content that we do have in the works right now, but I can't. I know that's kind of cheesy to say, but I wish you guys would understand that I mean it. We've been working super hard behind the scenes with partnerships and getting some contracts worked up with new licenses that are just absolutely mind blowing that haven't been in the space yet. So this is free to use. Sign up. Go download it. It's on a PC client right now. And there will be, I think we'll talk about this later in the conversation, but we will be attaching a token element to this, which will be called Collect, or TVK, will be the ticker symbol for that. But I think we can kind of focus in on that conversation perhaps later in this. Again, easy, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to tell them that.
Oh, all good. In fact, that's great, because my next kind of thing on the list was going to be, so how do we get like a Terra Dome? Do you have to buy it, or how, so that's amazing that you get all this virtual space just for signing up. That's another incredible aspect of that it's free. So that everybody, I've been dropping links here. I dropped the register link a few times. Definitely go and register so you have this space, even if you don't have a lot of stuff yet. You'll have it in the future for when you start getting some of those assets. And I can also imagine when you say you have a lot of cool stuff lined up,
Oh yeah.
the partners that you guys already have that these releases in Terra Virtua have been, been going on are just top notch, incredible. Godfather. I loved the reboot of Lost in Space. There's a lot of just already epic content, and with the quality there, I can only imagine what kind of awesome partnerships you guys are working on right now. So super
I can
excited.
tell you, I can tell you we obviously we're big into the movie space, but we are exploring sports and music areas as well. Not to give away anything there in specifics, but we are looking to really round out the collectibles and items that we would have for purchase to put in your caves, with a whole bunch of different sectors. So, I'm trying to think of how I could word it without giving it away, but I think we'll leave it at that. I think, movies, sports, music games is a really good summary of types of companies that we've been speaking to currently that are actually very close to working with us, that are highly interested in working with us, actually.
Yeah, the one thing that we didn't touch on was the whole physical merch, and then how they basically can tie in different things, like if you were at a concert, you can showcase that actually happened. I don't know, either in a virtual ticket stub or things of that nature. So like the collectability and then the merging between like the physical world and the virtual, basically they pick up on that as well. So like you buy a record and then you would have a 1-to-1 replica of that record in your fan cave on your wall. So that was just something I wanted to tag on the end there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we can. Oh, sorry, Easy. Go ahead. I was just going to say, we call it digital twinning. I think, Russ was saying that because people have combed through our website and saw there is a section in there for physical merch, which is empty right now. And I think that's kind of a clue. I think it's quite evident that will be coming to the platform. The partnership that we are working on, that we're very close to closing with, that to do digital twinning, is just an utter classic. I think I don't know one person on the planet that wouldn't know this title, and it would be mixed, of course, with physical merchandise. So I'm going to shut up before I give it away. But thanks for bringing that up.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Hey, everyone brings me on these discords because they know I give like a ton of shit away, and I'm not. Sorry for my language, but I'm not doing it. I can't anymore. I'm gonna get in trouble. I like my job; it's the best in the world, and we'll keep it at that.
I'm sending you a bottle of wine before our next show. At least I love the fizzy digital stuff, whatever we're gonna wind up calling it. But it's such a cool concept, and there's a few people that have been in that space for a little while. MetaFactory was, I think, the first one that I heard about doing physical digital combinations of like an NFT you could own that you could also have in real world, and I think that is gonna explode. It's just it's kind of an obvious next step.
I love the idea of like blurring the lines there with the physical and digital. Like one thing that I want to see like in the future, especially with like AR, is like if you have like, let's say something you bought in Terra Virtua, let's say it's this robot guy. I forgot what they call that. What is that one, Jeff?
Which one?
On the screen right now.
It's just robot. Yeah, that's what it was from Lost in Space.
What would be fantastic is you place them somewhere in a geolocation in your house, so every time you want to like show someone what's going on, like, or your collection, that maybe you have bare walls and then you throw the AR on, which maybe in the future it'd just be like the Google Glass lenses, but you look through those lenses and you can see like a massive collection that can't be like, that won't go away in 100 years, because obviously with the blockchain, as long as these, the Ethereum blockchain's up, then all your items are validated and that they are yours and stuff. So this stuff survives longer than, like the stuff you've seen at Pawn Stars or those TV shows that, and you don't have upkeep either, which is fantastic. You're not having to, I don't know what you do to keep paintings all fresh and stuff, but you don't have to do it here, which I think is really cool. And, it's like the potential is like insane. And so this really is just the beginning of like a massive shift, I think, in the collecting world and the gaming world and beyond.
Yeah, AR feels so nascent to me. I've used the Art Vive and Arise, a few different apps, and it's really cool. But I can't wait to see what more you guys come out with for
Like,
the AR
yeah,
aspect.
there's one thing that I was thinking about, like, what if basically you have the AR stuff. Let's say we were a little bit forward in the years, and where it wasn't this, you wouldn't have to use your phone. You could use the glasses that put the stuff in your reality for you. But you have like little critters running around your house, almost like a Roomba, like in like. So you just pop your glasses on, you can see them running around and whatever. Like these are the conversations that were happening, or that are happening, and stuff that we always keep up with the latest technology, and see what we can do, because we are trying to be, what's the term? I'll help me out here. What's the
Forward thinking.
first to do
Oh,
something? It's
first
called
mover.
first movers. Yeah, like
First.
these guys are first movers in many aspects. But like they don't stop there either. They're always like, I look forward to the Monday morning team calls, and I don't even like to wake up early, but just to hear about the conversations they're having with the different things that I can't talk about. Like it really is. It gets me like riled up for
All
the
right,
week.
all right, all right, all right, all right. I'll drop something. I will
Oh yeah.
drop something. So I saw someone say, "Love it. I want Pinhead." I will be honest. There might be some more work coming on the platform from artist Nick Percival. He's a great comic book artist. As you can see, we did have a Raise Hell, or Pinhead or Hellraiser, whatever you want to title it, from Nick Percival. He also did Judge Dredd. As you can probably see from our little previews that we put on Twitter, Clive Barker spoke so highly of him. Just a really, really awesome guy. His art is just ridiculous. And I will drop a little thing that there is going to be something for Hellraiser. I keep wanting to say Raise Hell. I'm saying that for a reason. So keep your eyes out on our socials, Discord, or whatever. Just a little secret stab here of what's coming to within the next few weeks. This is not something that's going to be months out. So if you wanted to grab something from one of the original artists that did Judge Dredd or Hellraiser, keep your eyes out on that. We're going to be doing something special for that. But I'm stopping the details there.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. I got I got one of the like Hellraiser ones. Was one of my first purchases. Actually, I think was on that first drop you guys did of his stuff. Super awesome. And I didn't mention, but you guys were talking about bringing in music too, more music, and I think music on the blockchain is going to be huge. There's
Yeah.
people out there right now tokenizing NFT music. There's the Audius platform, and I've been interested in it, and keep kind of abreast of what's going on to some extent, because I come from a musical family. I know that musicians across the world right now are hit really hard because there's no touring, there's no like live shows hardly or anything. So I think now is the perfect time for musicians to be able to get onto the blockchain and connect directly more to their fans, and be able to get a better cut than you would from a record contract too. Like, so there's so many aspects. I can only kind of imagine what you guys might be doing with the music. I would imagine it's probably a little bigger than just a couple artists tokenizing music, but it'll fit so great to be able to play music in your cave, hanging out with your buddies, showing off your NFTs. Like, this is just the whole package. I'm super, super excited about what's coming.
Yeah, we are too, and we've had questions in the past, crazy questions. Hey, can I hook up my Apple Music or Spotify in my fan cave and just hang out? And it was a great question. I think there's a whole bunch of legal parameters there between Spotify and Apple, and the underlying, artist agreements, of course, to upload their music there. But that's something that we would definitely explore. What we are exploring is perhaps, putting, like Russ said, a digital record in the record player and listening to music in the fan cave. But that will take some time and some exploration. Whenever, I'm sure you're familiar, being in a music family, the legal parameters in music are just so hefty, right? They're just so extraordinarily high, with royalties, publishing, agreements between the artists themselves, managers, and the underlying platforms that you'd have to stream it from. So, but we are exploring those options and seeing what would be the best way to do it, and be fair to those artists and get those artists paid, of course, for those streams. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. But it is definitely on the whiteboard. It's not a new idea for us.
That's
Your
amazing.
thing, like I
And
think you said
and
it exactly how I want it to be, like sooner rather than later. Easy.
And if there could be like, it sounds like maybe there could be, and you guys don't have to spill more beans here, but I kind of could see it almost where like Terra Virtua could be an umbrella where maybe musicians would be able to, mentor or somehow, work with Terra Virtua so all their stuff can be played in there, and have more than just like bringing in an NFT that you can put on the wall that has a music track on it where you can hit play. So
Yep.
definitely excited about that aspect of it too. I mean, really, it's you guys are pulling together kind of the dream here, where we have a place where all these aspects can come together and be able to really merge it all in a high quality, immersive, interactive platform. So I just got to give you guys mad props.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Funny.
And I think. Go ahead, Russ. Go.
Oh, I was just thinking in my head if I was buying like tape cassette NFTs and I'm having to put it in the actual like boombox. And
Hey,
Yes.
everything's cyclical, man. Everything is cyclical, right?
You have to rewind your VHS. I'm going to make sure that happens. I'm going to make it as annoying as possible. You have to rewind your VHSs if you bought it in NFT.
Be kind, rewind.
Honestly, I think if I have any say in that, we're going in that direction. I'm sorry to everyone that it's collateral damage there.
That's
Sorry,
awesome.
Jeff, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, as we go along this discussion, as you can see inside our platform, there's just really endless possibilities of what we can do, and we and it's not BS either. We truly rely on Discord conversations and AMAs like this. Community feedback in Discord. I don't want to keep shilling our Discord, but get in there. If you have an idea, share it. If you don't like something, tell us. If you want to see a license that you think is approachable, that you think we should talk to get collectibles, tell us. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but we're building this platform for the people. We're not trying to build something and force certain products down people's throats. If you come in, it's not a popularity contest. If you have a good idea, we're going to take it and run with it. And so I do encourage getting involved and speaking to the team. We're very approachable. I would request you guys kind of put it in the feedback section, of course, in Discord, so the whole team can see it. But tell us what you want to see. What do you guys want? What kind of collectibles do you want? What kind of features do you want? And we'll build it. I think we've come this far with a lot of the ideas on the whiteboard that are in development and production right now from the actual community. These aren't, we're not these uber geniuses that have every problem solved and every idea in the world that we think is going to be wonderful for all the community, but it's constant ideas from around the world, from different backgrounds, different collectors saying this would be cool, this doesn't look that great, and you should remove this, or hey, you should add this. So get involved, tell us what you guys want to see, and we're probably going to get it done.
And that's huge. I think something that lends a project like yours, not only like credibility, but is showing the far-reaching vision here by being inclusive and by being reachable by the community. That's just, and there's a handful of projects that are very inclusive, and that's what makes this space, I think, so special and sets it apart from a lot of other spaces, is that you can, get a message to someone or get an idea, or if you have some type of issue, to be able to make contact. So join that Discord and get involved, because your idea might be something that nobody else has mentioned yet, and it could be something really cool.
Yep. Absolutely agree. Get in there, guys. Talk to us. Again, we're very approachable. And quite frankly, in our Discord, you might see some really large collector names chatting in there. Also giving us some feedback. So you'll be in good company, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, we've been picking up advisors from all these different industries, just to try and help us make the best decision, because these different perspectives, like I couldn't have an independent artist perspective. I'm not in that world day in and day out. So having like an advisor that, like that can actually speak into that is incredible. And you should see how many screenshots of messages I have of like from Discord for people who give advice and basically things we take into account. And so again, like they really are super receptive, and we're building this out because the community wants it. And I'm here because I want this platform too. I buy into every sale. I've got 2 of every of the Top Gun helmets because I know next year those things are gonna be popping off the shelves. But anyway, like it's, I again, like it hit me up or hitting Jeff's friendly enough once he has his coffee.
If that's
Hey
not the
guys,
case.
hey guys, it's Dab Dragon here.
Hey,
Um,
Dab.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to add something. When Terra Virtua first started, I think a lot of people got confused with the credit card and adding money to your Terra
Sure.
Virtua
Yeah.
wallet. Just want to let everybody know what you guys haven't told them today is that you can use your wallets now to purchase the items. I used my MetaMask the other day.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I don't.
Thanks, Dab.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know about that yet, so you might want to hit on that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Let me speak on that now. So literally right on the screen right now, you can see that we do list our items in USD, and there is a reason for that. You have the option to pay with a credit card on your account. So if you are not the most experienced crypto user, or you still feel a little uncomfortable with using a wallet such as MetaMask in crypto, in particular ETH for this transaction, feel free to just use a credit card. And what we'll do is we do all the behind the scenes blockchain stuff, all the jargon that you might not want to know or might not want to understand. And you're good. You'll be all set.
Yeah.
And also, if you're not a crypto user and you sign up for Terra Virtua, you will be assigned an Ethereum wallet address, of course, so that when the item is minted, it is in that wallet. It's your item, right? It's not held on a server. You own that. So I think the important thing here is, as we explore the metrics between credit card users and crypto users, we find it interesting. Obviously coming into this, we have kind of closer to the chest relationships with the crypto crowd, but we are seeing like a 60% to 40% crypto to credit card split right now on our metrics. So it's interesting that we are getting some traditional people into the space, experimenting with Terra, that are really liking the collectibles and really liking the features that come with it. So I don't think it's fair to say we're the first ones to do it, but we're definitely bridging the gap. And it's getting stronger each day between the crypto and the traditional collectors and crypto and traditional gamers. So it'll be very cool to see what we start building inside our own little universe here, to see how different types of communities react to that. But thanks, Dab, for pointing that out. That's a great feature. We wanted to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to buy, and that it's a very, very low barrier to entry to get started here.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure. I just wanted to let having that choice is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's actually a really important part of onboarding, of getting people from, that maybe collected cards or physical items, whatever, or people that are just, finding out about the crypto space and don't have their wallet set up and it feels a little confusing. It's super important for platforms, I feel, to have the credit card purchase possibility. Sometimes I use it to avoid, like, if gas is really bad anyways, so that's another nice little aspect of it. Creating a wallet for people that are using the credit cards, where when you sign in, you get your account. Creating a wallet where someone doesn't have to do it on their own, super important for onboarding. So these are all just super positive aspects, being able to have that choice between just buying with a credit card or using your ETH, and using your wallet that you already have set up. I've heard people kind of bad mouthing, like, and not on Terra Virtua, but I think it was maybe a little ways back on Nifty, and people were like, "Why are they accepting credit cards? This is a crypto thing." And I'm like, we want everybody here. We don't just want the people here. Like, for artists to make sales, you want to offer that to everybody to purchase that and support our community. So again, I think it's super positive, and it's a great move that you guys have that set up for the masses.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
Absolutely. And the age thing comes into it too, because a lot of the people who want to get it can't get a credit card yet. So, that does come into play.
I've spoken about this on another AMA too. I think we did something with Matic the other day where we had a bunch of guys from Avagachi, OpenSea. It was a pretty big AMA and meeting and discussion. Focusing on DeFi, but one of the things that I talked about was we're starting to, and I don't think we see it, but we're starting to really segregate the difference between kind of like the crypto click and the traditional click. And I think either team is looking at the other saying, "Oh, you're still in the traditional market. You haven't explored the space. There's so much cool stuff." And then the traditional market is looking at the crypto click and saying, "Well, I don't understand it. I don't think that's going to get big or blow up. You guys should come over to this side." And I think, I think Foxy might have just said it, growing together, right? Just because we accept credit cards doesn't mean that we're not of decentralized nature. We're not supportive of blockchain. It's more of trying to get the people scared or nervous when they hear crypto or blockchain. It's from what they've seen from the talking heads on the media, it's very scary. It's very intimidating, and we want to grow together, bring them in to the ecosystem, and say, well, this is the easiest way to bring you in. And I was a big believer in, once people get started and get a first collectible or their first run through the platform to test it out, they start realizing, hey, you know what, this isn't that bad. And then with some community support, if if you're new and listening, cool. But if you don't understand even what ETH is or what a wallet is, just ask. We're there to answer and help. But we thought by doing this, it would really help kind of bridge those two clicks together and say, hey, you know what, we can live in the same ecosystem. Be peaceful about it. Be happy about how we both onboarded. You're an expert in crypto. I'm not, but here we are with some cool stuff in our fan cave. So we're very, very happy to, kind of start testing that intersection there.
Yeah, I got one final thought before I got to hop off. I told Easy and Jeff that got a final exam to knock out, and then I'll be done with school. So I'm pumped about that. But yeah, it's as far as what was it? Dang it! I talked about school, and then my brain just went sideways on me.
Credit card purchasing.
Just set in. My hands got sweaty. Oh, final exam, geez. Yeah. So it was like, as far as like they catered to the mainstream to begin with, because like that's they're industry, like lifetime industry guys on this team. So they, and anyway, so and then enter Jeff into the picture, and then some other crypto guys. They realized they need to kind of cater some things to the crypto space because it is blooming or blossoming out of like the crypto space. And so one thing that I like saw happening was like, we're getting a lot more, our community is growing in the aspects of like crypto enthusiasts, which is super fantastic, because I know when the mainstream like comes in, and it's just a matter of time when we really start hitting the mainstream hard. They happen to hire someone new on the marketing team, and she is a wizard. I'll say that much. So like the mainstream influx should be coming like very soon. But the thing that I was worried about is like, I wanted to have an established community where these guys can learn more about crypto. And so like having that first, and then like an established community that knows a lot about crypto, that basically gets to over time explain the value of this technology and why it's important and why it's such a game changer. It's just an incredibly important thing that I see happening. And so like I'm always the guy telling everyone on the team, like, let's just pump the brakes, like let's build up the base crypto community guys first, and then that way when the mainstream hit, we can welcome them with open arms and not be like, just like to develop a community and not necessarily like pay a support team to field questions. Like I want this to be something that everyone like. The interesting about crypto is like everyone gets vested interest. You don't have to be like a big time investor to own a part of a project. Like the second you buy a piece, an NFT, like part of Terra Virtua is like you own part of Terra Virtua. So the interesting that happens with the community is like you see people with this common vested interest, and like there's this baked in incentive that I really just enjoy seeing, because everyone is like gunning for like the success. But anyway, my whole point there was that like it's really fantastic that we're starting to get a base crypto community, that when the mainstream comes, they'll be, like brought up to speed and not have to like be necessary. I mean, there's definitely going to be support, but I've seen like how this community like handles new people, and it's really like warms my heart, like how, everyone's willing to help each other out, learn how to like navigate and stuff. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents before I gotta head out. Thanks, Easy, for having me. Jeff, it's always a pleasure. I'll see you early. Oh,
Thanks.
happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
And
Thanks, dude.
thanks, Jack.
Thanks so
Good luck
much.
with-
Plug there.
Could we get a good luck spam in the stream text for Russ? Good luck on your test, Russ.
Yes, kill that test. And thanks so much for coming on. And I 100% agree with your last comment. We talk often about building bridges in the space between the, kind of crypto community and the, mainstream community. But if you build a bridge to like nowhere, they're going to be kind of disappointed when you get there. So it's great that you guys are like kind of doing the slow roll till we have the community there to support the people that come in with those questions. So excellent, excellent work.
For sure.
And
All
yeah,
right.
thanks so much for hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russ.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
See you guys.
See ya. And some other things that I did wanna touch on a little is that you mentioned moving to Matic, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
So that, maybe there's people in the stream that don't know the full significance of that, but it's Matic is a second layer solution to avoid the gas fees and congestion that we hit all the time lately in ETH. So that's also a great move. And do you want to maybe talk a little bit about how that can work when you have assets on Matic? You have to kind of switch them back over to ETH if you wanted to like send it to someone else or sell it or something like that, right?
Yeah, sure. So for those that are not familiar with Matic, they just like Easy explained, they are kind of winning the sidechain war right now. There are a bunch of the sidechain companies out there, or sidechains in general, I guess we can say, right? We don't necessarily have to say company involved in that, but for those that don't understand, it's think of almost like a 2-layer highway that are running on the same blockchain. In this case, it would be the Ethereum blockchain. And imagine, one highway is bumper to bumper traffic, but another highway, you're driving fast, there's no traffic. And that's similar to what Matic comes in. And forgive me for my lack of a really in-depth metaphor here, but if you were to take the side chain, it would be faster. In this case, it would be cheaper gas fees to transfer the items and move the items around. And of course, it would be running in parallel to that main highway, which is super congested, high gas fees, in which we're seeing live right now with the Ethereum blockchain, especially with the recent volatility. It's been upwards volatility, but it's still volatility. And so we thought, we wanted to really focus on fees. This was an interesting decision. If we wanted to do the open ecosystem, updating our contracts first to allow all the collectibles in now, or if we wanted to do it in parallel with our move over to Matic. And we just thought from a long-term solution, teaming up with Matic on this would just be better. It'd be more cost efficient. It'd be faster. We do think there's probably going to be a very, very, very small learning curve for new people coming on board. But when that's live and everything's kicked off, we're most likely going to be incorporating some, tutorials on the site or a walkthrough on the site on how to use it, what exactly it means. Because getting into crypto that we just had a 10 minutes discussion on is kind of a high barrier to entry for those that don't know about it. And then you have to learn about what, a side chain layer is, or new company Matic. What is that? What are Matic tokens? So there will be a little bit of a learning curve there, but we're prepared to do, some tutorials and that walkthroughs to make sure people are comfortable with that. But we do think from a long-term solution, especially pricing, we're bullish on ETH, obviously. We've seen the NFT market is just millions upon millions of dollars now each year. And I don't know the exact metrics. I think it might be upwards of 60 million. I could be wrong with that. I'd have to check, so don't quote me on that. But the growth is there. There's more NFTs coming out. There's more digital artists that are coming from the traditional market and starting to mint their items. We're seeing more games, higher quality games, higher quality, even entities coming out. We're seeing DeFi elements. So the usage of Ethereum is not going away anytime soon. So the the $2, $3, $4 USD gas price is kind of here to stay. It's kind of become the norm, right? I remember the days where it was 20 cents for gas for this transaction. Oh, that's ridiculous. It's expensive. I'm going to wait till it's back down to 3 cents. Those days are long gone. And I think there needs to be a long-term solution on to what happens if it goes up to $8, $9, $10 and starts turning into the Bitcoin blockchain, where it's just a lot of money to send a transaction. It just doesn't make sense. And then, you have to hire gas fees. You might have to wait 40 minutes for something to go through if you don't want to pay the high gas fees. It's just not feasible with a platform where, a collector might come in on a release and want to buy an item right away. It just doesn't really make sense. So we felt that after a lot of team discussion and a lot of debating, we thought that was a good option for us from a long-term solution for sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that's a great move, and I like the highway metaphor. I hadn't heard that one, and it's very clear to kind of picture. Yeah, that's basically what's happening. And it with the gas that, yeah, I remember those good old days. It was like 3-4 cents to send an NFT from one
crazy
spot to another, and now quite often, in fact, if you're getting you're picking up just a little wearable or something that maybe only costs a few bucks, your gas can be more, sometimes double than what the actual item is. So, and I think we hit this point, with the last maybe 4 or 5 months, kind of, there's been the acceleration of, projects on the ETH blockchain, the artists coming in, the games coming on, has seemed to really be pretty parabolic. So it did come a little faster than I had anticipated as far as ETH bottlenecking that hard. But like you mentioned, I don't think it's gonna go back to really affordable gas, and it may get really harsh at times. So I think Matic is a great solution, and I fairly recently finally kind of started using Matic for the first time on a few things, marble cards, and so yeah, it was a little bit. It took me a few minutes to figure out how to get that Matic set up on my MetaMask and stuff. But really, it's not that hard. With a little tutorial, anybody could do it. If you've set up a MetaMask, you can get onto Matic. So it's, like you said, you just, if someone has questions about it, they're confused, always just reach out to somebody and ask, and you'll get the help and make that happen. So yeah, that's great. Great news in my opinion.
Yeah, I just want to answer a question that was in the stream chat. Kunwolf, I think. They asked, is Terra Virtua app is only for mobile? It is for PC client, so you can get it on your PC, and we do have the mobile app is on Android phones. I don't know if you're here very, very early in the conversation, but we are working, try and get, approved on the iOS marketplace, and it's just anything crypto related. It's just so difficult. I don't even know how MetaMask mobile is still up. That's what I use. But if iOS doesn't work through, we are going to figure out a workaround that so we do have a backup plan for that. So hopefully that helps with your question and problem. But if there's any issues that you're having with installation or anything, jump in our Discord, tag support. We'll definitely get you. So for sure.
Nice. I think we need like a 1,000,000-man march on the Apple spaceship campus to just get them on board with crypto. What is the problem?
Oh, here's some news. So they lowered their fees today. Just came out in a news article. Maybe it's yesterday, but I'm pretty sure it's this morning. It was 30% is what Apple's cut is. I mean, it is just highway robbery. They did announce that if you are making less than $1 million in revenue or sales, whatever the terminology they did, it is only 15% now. So they had such antitrust issues, and entrepreneurs were just like, this is ridiculous. I can't make money. And Apple said, okay, we'll give you a little bit of leeway. We'll only charge you 15%, which is still highway robbery, right? But that's what it is. So I mean, yeah, Android 1, 2, 3, we're done on there. We're all good. But I think as funny as it is, as much as we want to be on iOS, through Apple alone as a standalone, doing a workaround where we'd have a different style of app on the iOS network with Apple, I think is something that we'd almost rather prefer. Anytime you incorporate crypto into this, they can just flip you on and off like a light switch. And we're, like I said, we're big on the community. We don't want that to happen. We don't want people to enjoy this, build out their caves, talk to other people, make a whole bunch of friends, and then have Apple ruin the party because they're greedy. We're trying to, I run strategy here, and it's a nightmare to me because, like, how do you plan for that, right? How do you prepare for Apple changing their business model, neither positive nor negative, and saying, oh, you're allowed to do this now, congratulations, or no, we changed our mind, you got to shut it down. So it's so tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, it's a shame that it's such a barrier for anything slightly involving crypto. And I didn't know they take 30%, and that's crazy. 15% still sounds like highway robbery to me.
Yeah, 30%. That is an actual figure, guys.
That's
crazy.
Incredible, especially in this day and age when you can. I mean, I guess I see now why they're not so into the blockchain, because people can do their own thing. Like, they want it all just through them for them. I mean, I use Apple products. They're nice. They work well, but I may have to hop on Android just so I can have more freedom. We'll see. Yeah. One thing I wanted to get a little more background on too, if you want to talk a little bit about the VFlex.
Yeah. So as you can see, perfect timing right on the screen. Those are what our VFlex. They've been compared to digital Funko Pops. These are just little robot avatars that we have in our ecosystem. They are Terra Virtua's own IP. So we design these. Our team design these, creates these. One thing that's super exciting is we've been talking to the movie studios and our future partners about branding these VFlex with certain characters. Without giving too much away, if you were to take a character from a movie and translate it, their outfit or their style or their movements, a certain scene into the animation, we are working on that. So besides movies, music, and all the other fun stuff, we do have just really cool characters that people have been sharing inside of stream chat for a while. So pick those up. They're a lot of fun. And I think what we're going to do is we've been exploring gamification with them. Again, just showing proof in the community. Someone a while ago had mentioned, hey, imagine if you can play chess or checkers with your VFlex and actually use your VFlex as the pieces. And I thought that was just super cool, right? Trying to figure out how to colorize them to use it. Let's just use checkers here as an easy example, black and red. How do we colorize it? What would it look like? But again, there's so many functions that we can do with the VFlex that we have yet to explore, but we do want to somehow incorporate them into a gamified atmosphere. So they are also what we'd like to call more like our starter products. They are very affordable to get, cheap in. They start at, I think, $5 might be the cheapest one, just to get you started. They do range in rarity. Of course, we want that to have that collector's feel to it. So pay attention to the rarities. You can see kind of like the color on the side right there, like that's green. So that would be a rare item, obviously. But we do have, a menu in there that will show you a legend, on the side. That's always up on each screen you go to, showing you which rarity each color represents. So, we do have rarities in VFlex. So we actually had a lot of volume, believe it or not, going after the rarest VFlex. We do release those somewhat consistently. But I would suggest, if you wanted to get started, pick out a super cool VFlex. It's very early. These are the first generation VFlex. Who knows how big or large we will be in 3 years. So I'm not trying to say, they'll appreciate in price, but I am saying it would be smart to pick up, if you want to get started, a cheap one today, or if you're really into the collector status, a nice rare one for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, you just totally got me. Like, after this, I got to go and do a little spree and pick up a few more. I just have a couple kind of the cheaper ones that I really like. But that's awesome to be able to gamify those and incorporate it, like you said, as a chess or checker game, or maybe some other kind of like little sports mini games that you could do and bring a friend in and your VFlex against his VFlex. And, that's awesome. I love the different styles. And where does the design for those come from? Like, are you guys already, or are you planning on working with some other known artists in the crypto space? You know, I mean, I'm sure like a Hackatow designed one would just be off the charts, or you know, any kind of stuff like that in the pipeline that you can talk about?
That's a wonderful question. So right now we do have our own internal artists that have designed these, that are working on, you know, base models and base designs. You know, we are. You kind of gave away something that we were thinking about in the future, about, you know, being able to design VFlex or design, you know, essentially anything, like your own artwork, and mint it, you know, right onto our contract into the platform. So that's something that's actually coming very soon alongside our token. I would say it's more of the late side of the token release, a feature that will be coming. Excuse me, let me rescind that. It's a Our token will come out first with a whole bunch of features, and then the idea of being able to design your own stuff and upload it and mint it right to the Terra contract will come later in time. But that is something we would love to explore, and we think that's what's going to really help drive why I called it a basic VFlex, because you know, the skin itself of it seems to just be a blue robot. But you know, Reptoids we have, which looks like, you know, a little dinosaur. As you saw, we have like the Zorro looking characters in there. You know, as you go through all sorts of you know, different portions of the marketplace, you'll see different designs. But it just opens the door for someone to really have fun, you know, with their imagination. We did a Halloween VFlex contest, which were just blown away with what was submitted. You know, people have designed Draculas and scary VFlex with some, you know, dark, you know, Halloween related graphics in the background. And I just felt like every day we get bigger and bigger with popularity, and our social networking is really starting to grow. So yeah, when we start, you know, exploring the potentials with a Hackatow or Trevor Jones, or, you know, just, I mean, I could go off hundreds of artists in the market I would love to have conversations with that. But I think that's a little bit down the line, when we figure out how customation is going to look, not necessarily for just experienced artists, but for everybody, right? You know, I'm not an artist. I can't draw for anything. So, you know, outside of customization of changing the colors of your walls or floors, of course, but what about customization or building a VFlex? You know, what about perhaps sharding pieces of a VFlex and being able to put these pieces together to build your own VFlex? So again, these are all options that are on the table for later in time. And I know, I'm sorry I keep saying that statement, but as you can see, there's just 30, 40 different things that we can be working on at once, mixed in with growing the platform and, you know, accumulating new licenses, new IP, and designing them. It's quite a task for our dev team. We do have 30 devs, and they are they are working. Let me tell you that they're working 6 days a week. You know, nearly 60, 70 hours a week. They're just full steam ahead with trying to catch up with the volume and the popularity of, you know, what's been happening with us lately. So I think your answer to the VFlex probably went a little off topic there on what a VFlex is, so maybe you tricked me there and you got away with it. But you know, pay attention, guys, because customization is going to be coming.
That is amazing. Because not only would it be cool to collect like a really hot collectible designed VFlex from a cool artist that you like, but also being able to design one your own. It sounds amazing. And then to be able to kind of mix and match pieces from different ones, if you're sharding them up or some way to do that, you break them up and put a head on one from another, or, you know, that's super cool, super exciting. And then also, I had missed, I think, the Halloween like design contest or however that went, but super fun also to have community design contests where somebody gets to, you know, everybody submits their designs and a few of them win and get those actually made. That's just like, those are the exact kind of things that really drive engagement and make it fun and rewarding to be a part of the community.
Yeah, easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go
easy.
ahead,
I was going to say, you know, personalization. People love to have their own little twists on things. I mean, imagine having your own 3D face on one, or even a simple set of wearables that you can purchase just for your VFlex. I know I love having my own avatar in other places with the way I like it. You know what I mean? I love all the VFlex, but a little personalization would be nice. You know?
Yeah, and we agree, and we hear it, and I encourage everybody get in our Discord and yell at our team. Say, guys, I want to see this. I want this. I want it now. And that way I can put a lot of pressure on our devs and say, listen, this is a big feature from the community. Maybe we should, up the priority of this. We do have a huge running joke internally at Terra and, throughout the Discord community in several different channels about dark mode, right? I've been dubbed king of dark mode as a joke because when I first came on, my first day, I was like, well, we wall garden these contracts. We're not allowing interoperability. Nope, that's out the window. And second, this website is way too bright. We need a dark mode. and our wonderful CTO and co-founder Jawad, who's just an amazing guy, super hard worker, runs an incredibly tight ship with the dev team. He blessed me with it. He said, Jeff, I got a present for you about a month later, and we now have dark mode. So I remember at my time at OpenSea, there was a huge feature request, and I carried it over somewhat as a joke, somewhat serious, and we developed it. So if you push back on us a lot and there's a feature that we're seeing consistently that people want, the point is we will up the priority and make sure that we give the people what they want.
Well, simple. You're in the right place. You're in the right place for that. If you wanted less work, don't come to Discord. This is where all the talent is. This is where all the artists hang out. This is where the ideas come from. So say and tell me.
I'm a huge dark mode lover.
Oh yeah,
personally, it's super important to have that. Otherwise, my eyes just get fried.
I agree. That was the seriousness of it. So I saw so many people. Obviously, OpenSea is a wonderful platform. I love those guys over there doing great things. And I just, one of the things, the very, very small things I took with me was I remembered the community just constantly asking us, we need a dark mode, guys. And so I've always carried that with me wherever I go. Any website or application I use is in dark mode. So I knew the people would want that up front without having to pummel us with questions on when it's going to come. So it's a whole running joke internally.
Love it. And something that you mentioned just kind of briefly is the legend that's on the side of each item. So I love that. It's super, super useful. There's I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say Avastars. You're scrolling and you click it and you kind of go look at the score and whatever. And they do have, I think, a different color frame kind of which will signify the different level if it's legendary or rare or common or whatever. But I really think that's super handy having that little green tab or the different colored tab depending on what level it is, because when you're scrolling through you might be looking for like, oh well, I want something that's rare, I want something that's super rare or legendary or the different qualifications. So you can just kind of scroll down and look for those those colors, one that kind of jumps out at you. You can probably also, which I haven't tried yet, you can probably filter for certain rarities on the site too.
Yeah, you can absolutely. There's a bunch of filter options. I will tell you, it's what I'd like to call our basic options right now. We are going through a complete overhaul, and I say that with a deep voice because we are upgrading our marketplace with a whole bunch more features, minting numbers for more, the traditional crypto collectors, just much more parameters to find what you're looking for, to make it a little bit more feasible as we start to get more quantity onto the platform, just so that it just doesn't look messy. It's very clean right now. There are a bunch of sorting options, towards the left side under filters. You can sort by VFlex, sort by artist, sort by brand, even you can sort by our own brand. Like I mentioned, VFlex would be a Terra Virtua IP. But we want to make it better. We want to make it more thorough. We want to make it more colorful. We want to make it with really, really fine parameters for people to find exactly what they're looking for without having to do too much effort.
That's awesome. Another question just popped into my head while watching the stream loop. Like, there's couches and stuff in the lounge. So are those like when we get our lounge, is that something that like there comes with a certain amount of customizable items, or are those things that we would also purchase? Or you want to give a little
Sure.
details on that?
Yeah, so everything you're seeing right now is standard. So the couch, the pinball machine, and the rough setup of it is standard. This was just to get people going, get it started. Of course, we are going to have things further down the line for customization of that. You can customize how you arrange your collectibles or what's on the walls in regards to artwork, for instance. Moving it here and there, but the actual furniture, the floors, we've had requests for that. We've heard your voices about that. And we're digesting on how that would look like and how we would set that up for, colorizing different types of furniture. Pre-built fan caves was something that we've been floating around recently from a suggestion as well on, if you want to buy a pre-packaged collector's room with some items already in it or a different style, perhaps you can have designers do that and sell pre-packaged fan caves. So yeah, this is, you guys are, did you steal the business model, or were you sitting on a phone call with us lately? Because you guys are just asking the questions of everything that we've discussed internally. It's not a secret. It's not inside information. We just haven't spoken about it publicly because before we, address these issues or talk about our specific plans to offer this kind of feature, we want to make sure it's done right and high quality and feasible.
That's really, great answer. And that's really cool because you also might be starting kind of a whole nother marketplace inside there in economy with designing of caves, of your hangout, of your Terra Dome. I could see that as actually a really fun, like I've done, landscape design and stuff like that most of my life. So I could see like it would be really fun to help pimp someone's little cave out, or I don't know, I might have to hit you guys up about making some plants to be able to put in there or something. I do little voxel plants when I have time over in crypto voxels. I'm building up a little catalog.
That's cool. Hey, again, jump in our Discord and tell us, guys. I am a one-man army. Like I said, I run the strategy, and there is a very large team that I work with. So I propose a lot of the ideas, and it would be nice to have the community come in, share their ideas, so that we can pick out the ones that make the most sense from a production level, type of order, so to speak, and say, hey, this is a really good idea. We should do this. I know it's annoying, but I encourage it. I speak up. I want people to come there and back me up on these cool ideas that we're kind of yes, no, maybe on. And if we see that the community, an idea that we've had that we've been throwing around that we're not too sure on, but now we're seeing the community back it up and request it, well, that gives us a very clear answer on what we should move to development.
And this is exciting because right now, the community, that's us guys, we can go kind of tip the scales and on a certain, maybe aspect of this that is being discussed right now in the Discord, with the community. Get your voice heard, jump in there and, share what you want, because this is forming a really amazing, inclusive environment that we're going to get to have a lot of fun playing in, hanging out with, showing off our stuff. One of the other questions that I had was, when you go in and you're cruising around, is it first person always, or can you change to a third person and you have your avatar? Can you be in a VFleck or one of your other collectibles or something like that? How's that going to work?
Yeah, so it is first person now. I've never heard that idea, to be honest with you, about changing your point of view as if you're a V-Flect. That's an interesting idea that I'm going to write down immediately after this call. So no, that's not an option right now. But it's ideas like that it's exactly back up what we just spoke about. Like, that's a cool idea. Now, do I know if that's feasible, or would it take a lot of production and development time? That I don't know, right? I'm not a big tech guy. I don't want to pretend like I am, but that's something to me that is a great idea where, if people think that that's something that they want to do, is, pretend you're this very small VFlect and walking on the floor, like, how would that work? And is it even possible, right? What type of design would that work? So that's where it comes down to the yes, no, maybe conversation. So yeah, I like that idea. But right now, the view that you are seeing is the first person view. This was set up primarily for people that don't have VR headsets, that want to still have somewhat of a feeling that they are in a virtual reality ecosystem. That's probably an important point I should have touched on too. You don't need a headset, a VR headset or an Oculus, whatever, to use this platform. Or what you're seeing is just a walkthrough of the PC client itself without using any of the headsets.
Awesome, because a lot of us don't have headsets yet. I don't have one yet. I'm hoping that I'm going to get one fairly soon now. But yeah, super looking forward to actually getting into some of the places that I hang out on a browser in actual VR, because I know it's just a whole new experience, even more fun, even more, just to be immersed like that. It's going to be amazing. So that's cool. And yeah, I love that I just came up with something that maybe no one else had mentioned yet, being seeing through the eyes of your VFlex. That could be cool. Who knows if it's even possible? But yeah, so that, man, this has just been a really, really fun time talking about the project. There's so much that you guys are doing, and the quality is just super high. I was going to say, yeah, it looks like really crisp and clean. So I can't wait to get in and cruise around and start setting up a cave and, playing with my stuff.
I would love it. We do have an AR competition that's going on right now through our mobile app. If you want to check our Twitter on how to enter that and do that, but we just like doing fun stuff like that. And I know since we're probably winding down, I did want to mention, the burning question, no pun intended, is when is our token going to be launched? We do have a utility token that is coming out. As I mentioned earlier in the call, it's going to be called the Collect token. The ticker is going to be called TVK. You can find some basic information for it on our website. If you go to just terravirtua.io and then click the Collect token, you will see some ideas that we are going to be implementing. Those who are from whale famine here might be familiar with the staking elements and rewards from there. You're talking about liquidity pool rewards, NFT rewards, airdrops. We're going to be doing it all. It's going to be a fireworks show when we release, because we want to make sure that those who stake and get in early really have the benefits of enjoying early adopter benefits, right? I mean, that's the way it should be. So we're setting it up that, if you get involved with the token early, you get involved in our staking programs, then you will be rewarded. And, we're hoping by staking not only helps the stability of the coin, because, we all want everything to appreciate, but the thing we want to avoid is having traders really come in and try and destroy the ecosystem by having the coin go up too high or too low too fast. Of course, we all want it to appreciate all the time, but we would love a stabilized economy where people can really invest into the company, and not just necessarily for financial gain, but to actually be part of the community. That's what we want. And that's why we're doing it, is not necessarily for the financial side, but to reward community and really enjoy people that are there to stick around, that are really invested into just being a part of our social ecosystem.
To me, that's where the real value lies, is in the community, in having an amazing product that's fun and cool to use. And of course, we all want, our coins that we have or we've invested in to go up. But to me, that's not the most important part when I'm getting into a project. The most important part is the people, the sense of camaraderie, and the actual product that is being worked on. So there's so much value here that it makes me excited that you guys are taking what I think is the right approach to launching a token tied to it. And staking is great. The liquidity pool rewards are great. A lot of people here are in the whale community and have kind of got their feet wet over there, or at least gotten able to absorb some of the information. So this is another reason, guys, to get in that Discord, to get involved, because
Yeah.
the early adopters do get rewards. Like that's basically how it usually works on, especially on a project that you can see the quality, you can see through the partnerships that are there with Terra Virtua, that this is not some fly by the seat of your pants or fly by night project, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be some rug pull. There's a lot of quality content already, and sounds like we're just in for a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we are putting the final touches on the Prestige program. We're calling it Prestige, is essentially revolving around our staking elements of the token. But, the majority of it is set in stone, which will, be leveling rewards, there's staking rewards, badges for your profiles. There's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff that's coming out. We will be making an announcement with some very fine details on that very soon. I would estimate within about 2 to 3 weeks from now, perhaps even earlier, but we will give the community and everybody interested a very well enough time frame heads up of what it is to ask questions, where to get it. I know there was a question real quick. Sorry guys, I'm trying to read in the stream chat, but I know, will TVK be globally compliant, available in UK and US jurisdictions? So we are not doing this. This is not a pre-sale. We went through a pre-sale process, a private pre-sale process, just with some investors. So we will be, you will be able to find this on Uniswap, for instance. We do plan on listing on certain exchanges, which I can't mention at the moment. You will be familiar with these exchanges, depending on where in the world you are. I think they're big enough that I think everybody might know who they are. But there will be more information on this, on what we decide to go with for listing the actual token for purchase. But if you are in a situation, like for me, I am in the United States, so I would not have been able to, of course, partake in that sale. But however, if you wanted to scoop it off like Uniswap, for instance, there will be a lot of liquidity there for those that want to scoop it there too. So
that's great. Yeah, and also I will just mention that you want to get your Uniswap like information, the links for the pair, if it's the token with ETH, you want to get those like from the Discord, just to be safe, because there are scammers out there that will make a coin with the same name, fake it up, even make like good looking tweets and post that around. So just, you want to be like getting the source, or go to the original source for that type of stuff. So great to be in the Discord, or maybe if you're following on Twitter, you can get the information there. But a lot of reasons to join the Discord and be a part of the community.
Yeah, definitely. And easy. Thank you for mentioning that. It's very important. Stay close to the team. You should stick close to the chest from our Twitter. I think we have roughly around like 14,000 followers on Twitter. We're trying to get verified in there so bad because we had a company that just stole all of our Medium articles, pictures and videos, and pretended to be us with a different name. And we're doing, it's just disgusting. And they were doing, a token swap or a token raise. So listen, there are sharks out there. There are people that are trying to steal your money and steal your collectibles. Please be super cautious and wary on that. Make sure that if you want to check with the team, you are unsure of something, send us a DM on Twitter, tag us on anything, ask us questions in Discord, shoot a team member a DM. No question is too big, too small when it comes down to that. We take that very, very seriously. We are also here to protect our community members and don't want to see somebody, get hurt or get money, be a victim of fraud. When they're just, truthfully trying to invest into Terra Virtua or be a part of the platform. So we will back you up and help you out if there are any questions or concerns or any fishy type of scenarios that you're not sure of. Let us know first before you pull the trigger.
Great advice. And I just put in the chat, never share your private keys, because I guess the last it was that uni scam that was going around, and they were literally asking, I guess I didn't get that deep into it, but and I kind of thought it was a scam from the first part I saw, but I guess they were literally getting people's private keys. Like saying, okay, you give us your private keys and then we do this for you or something. So just always, if anybody asks for something like that, right away, you should know that that is completely unsafe, and to back away. If you do have a question and it's something that could be a legitimate project, go straight to the source and ask there. So just really important to always kind of hammer on that to keep people safe.
Yes, thank you, Easy, for bringing that up for sure.
Yeah, no problem. This has been super phenomenal. I'm sure we could probably keep talking for a while more, but I don't want to keep you too long. Is there anything we didn't touch on that you'd like to just kind of add in?
Yeah, let's talk about the Discord join. No, I'm just kidding. We talked about. No, I think again, we've tried to hammer it into our listeners. We do have a lot going on. We have a lot of things in production, a lot in development, a lot of partnerships are in the working contracts. Again, we are still somewhat new to the ecosystem. We are growing. In theory, the platform that is live with all these features that I mentioned is only beta. Technically, we've kind of been tinkering. Do we remove the beta or take it off? But we are growing at a very rapid pace in regards to users, development, new collectibles that are coming on. So everyone is at full steam ahead. So, again, I really encourage everybody, positive or negative feedback is much appreciated so that we can continue to build a product that everybody enjoys, and really just has fun. Because I'm a big believer, if it's not fun, you're dead in the water, right? And so that's basically it. Check us out. Understand that we are full steam ahead with production, and we are trying to keep pace with requests, licensing, collectibles, new features, new marketplace updates, everything. So bear with us. It's very early, but it's going to be a very fun ride. And I think those that are hearing this now have a really, really, really big chance of getting into some cool stuff early, and to just see our growth from the start, essentially.
Absolutely. Absolutely epic project. I am super excited. I'm in that Discord. I've picked up a few things. I'm going to be watching closely, participating. This is, one of the projects that's at the top of my list, that things I'm super excited about right now in the space, and looking forward to long-term growth and having fun. So I really, really appreciate you coming on. Hopefully Russ is like killing his final exam right now, and yeah, this has been great. I would love to have you guys back on, maybe a couple months down the line or something, and do a catch up, and get kind of briefed on what is new, and the other things that you guys will have released and upcoming stuff then. This was really great, so yeah, I'd love to have you back on.
Let's do it. I can't even, I don't even remember what life at Terra was like 2 months ago. So much has been changed, updated, produced in the past couple months. It's crazy. So I think, 2 months, end of January, end of February might be great. I think end of February would probably be perfect. I think that's probably, within the range that we should have interoperability live, and our contracts updated, Matic fully implemented. That's going to be sort of the sweet spot. I want to say that to give us some extra leeway, so I'm not quoted on it, but we are trying to push this out, the interoperability in Matic, as early as possible, first quarter 2021. It's absolutely going to happen first quarter 2021. We are, unless there's some major delays, but we are really, really pressing that in the development side to do that as fast as possible while keeping pace with all these other things that we're working on.
Well, you guys are doing amazing work. Give my, happy regards to the whole team, because it's really pulling together nicely. And like I said, I'm just super excited
Easy.
for this platform. It's super solid, and everybody here, get in early. This is this is the future. What we're looking at right now is this super inclusive space to have all your cool NFTs and actually interact with them, and get to kind of get more value out of them than just them sitting in your phone or your wallet or whatever.
Definitely. It's a fun ecosystem, guys. Try it out. I'm confident you all enjoy it. Scoop something up for cheap. Grab a VFleck, jump in your fan cave, explore a little bit. Would love to hear you guys. You want to come in, and give some feedback. Say you're from Collectors Hub, shoot me a PM, whatever, preferably in the feedback section in Discord. Let me know where you're coming from. I like to stay in touch with people. I'm very, very, very close with the whale community. I would even consider Whale Shark a personal friend of mine. We talk all the time. And I really, really like to stay in tune with who's coming from what community. I know there's a sense of pride there. So let us know, keep in touch.
Awesome. We'll talk later and get you on the books for like late February to come back on the show, because this was just really, really fun and a lot of great information. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
This was fun.
I think that just about wraps it up, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out, for your great questions. And we will see you on the next show here, but I'm sure I'll see you all before then in the Meta Olympics or the Whip or over in Meme Force or over in Whale, or that's how we roll as a tight community. Actually, see you over in Terra Virtua Discord very soon. And thanks everybody for coming. Big thanks. Big shout out to Terra Virtua and Russ and Frankie.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Easy.
Russ, Frankie, and Jeff.
Russ and Frankie. Thanks, Easy. Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to chatting with y'all.
Yeah. Peace.
All right. Take care. Bye now.